Good afternoon. Back again talking about money, not math, because I believe most people love money without realizing that it often doesn't work the same way as math. Today I watched a video on abc27.com regarding wealth care, comprehensive retirement planning. And as always, I'll include the link in case you want to watch the same video I did. But the points that came up in the video that I really enjoyed and wanted to elaborate on and overview for you today, there's a few really good ones. So the first one that they talk about is there's no such thing as generalized planning. Okay, so they open up the video saying if you ask 10 people what they think you should do with your retirement money, you'd probably get 10 different answers. Because there's so many different ideas out there, and I a little bit disagree with that because there's a lot of traditional style planning out there and a lot of resources or advisors or just trains of thought that kind of tell a lot of people to do the same thing with their money. The biggest one being stash as much cash as you can in your group 401ks. But generally speaking, I do agree that there are a lot of different opinions out there, and the most important point on that is we are all different people with different financial goals, with different financial backgrounds. So our financial plan should reflect that and how different we are. So that doesn't mean we should be planning the exact same way as our parents did, our grandparents did, or our friends do. We should be planning for what makes the most sense for us individually. The second thing is, did you know that you can get your retirement income or your retirement to a 0% tax bracket? So did you know that you can position your money to be in a 0% tax bracket in retirement? Now, that takes some planning and that takes some strategizing, and the ability to do so is different for everyone. But I think it's an important point to be aware of if that's something that would be important to you, so you can control and have the choice of how much of your money you want to spend on taxes in retirement, rather than being told how much of your money you have to spend on taxes in retirement. The third point they talk about is the importance of decreasing fees. So often we're so bombarded with the idea of maximizing your rate of return, do what everyone else is doing, or do what's been going well in the past, right? It's very common to be told what to do in the future based off what's happened in the past. Even though I think we can all agree history does not necessarily determine the future. There are some lessons we can learn from history, but it doesn't, just because something happened last year doesn't mean it's going to happen again next year. So it can be more important to focus on decreasing the fees and the amount of money you lose in your planning, to make sure you keep more of your money in your pocket for what's important to you, without increasing the risk you have to take with your money, which increases how vulnerable you are to failing, or so-called financial failure. And the last point they kind of talk about, but I think is really important to reiterate, is, and I'll bring this up many times, is the difference in opinion of what's more important: maximizing how much your retirement assets are worth, or how much they pay you. So in other words, what's more important: maximizing how much you are worth on a spreadsheet, or maximizing the amount of retirement cash flow that you can use throughout the rest of your life and make sure you don't run out of money before you run out of breath, right? So that's a difference in opinion there too, that I've used it before and I'll continue using again. What's more important to you: how much money your employer has, or how much they pay you? Most people say how much they pay us because that's what we live off of. So shouldn't your retirement plan affect that same strategy? Hopefully today's conversation was valuable to you and helpful. Please let me know by commenting or reaching out. And if it's really valuable, please share with a friend. Again, this is Drew Erickson talking about money, not math. And I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks. Bye.